and sue for peace. He tried this with the effort of the police. And the first time they attacked the chief of his village, and he himself called several. I remember that day, he gave me the number of their DPO, and I called him myself. And I said, DPO, these people are in distress. And I talk with you now, the chief is inside the bush. They cannot trace him.
Till now? Or at that time?
At that time.
Okay.
At that time. So, within that week, this young man tried to see how he can handle this. The community boiled to a point. It was no longer comfortable for anybody to size. And what into the village too. So he went there again. And what's this is that there have been any conclusion from activities. You see, that is why you see in the communities that when it comes to court activities, some CDC chairmen will shrink back. They will not put much of hands in it. And again, another challenge we are having is the issue of funding. I want to tell you that if you go to some communities, in fact, there are constitutional provisions
at the local government level for the funding of the CDCs, aren't there? I'm asking.
That is what.
So you do not say I'm the one that said it.
No, that is.
Let's hear it from you.
That's what it is by the bylaw, by the law that local government.
But you don't get the money.
We don't. That's no way. We don't. There's no local government that you can point to that is simply. Let me give you instances. We have local vigilantes, and to be frank with you, the peace we have in River State today, let anybody take it or not. The peace we have in River State is the effort of these vigilantes. Take them apart, River State will boil. I'm telling you the truth. And these vigilantes are being taken care of by community leadership effort.
I need you to understand this. We know that provisions are in the law for CDCs to be funded from the local government. Now you are saying that government chairman, across your colleagues across,
yeah,
you do not get these monies come from the, and has there been a conversation to find out why?
Yeah, the issue, in River State, politics has overtaken virtually everything. In River State, there is no structure. Both call it traditional and whatsoever, that is working according to how it should work.
You're saying the political influence in all of them?
All of them. That's the problem. You see where the government will want to push even the traditional ruler to come and join and sign political community.
Okay. We are going to come to the politics of it.
So that is a challenge we are having. So how would CDC chairman who is supposed to be part of
we have a commercial. Hold the thought, just a very short one. When we return, we're going to get into details of this, and the political part of it is next. Stay tuned. 27 minutes past 8 is what time is. My name is Ifeemi Andrew, and in the studio with me is Harrison Nwosu, spokesperson, United Community Development Committee, Rivers State. And we're looking at the political situation, its impact on community development, safety of CDC chairmen in Rivers State. And so far, you've heard from the guest in the studio his position on some of these issues. We've started with the security situation following deaths of CDC chairmen in several local government areas and communities across the state. And he's given one perspective as this is happening. And he's also talking about why it's difficult for CDC chairmen to operate as they ought to. Well, finance, they do not get the funding that they should be getting according to the provisions of the laws at the local government level. Well, what is your take? In your opinion, how effective are community development committee chairmen? Let us know what you think. I guess it's also alluded to the fact that politics seem to have taken over everything in Rivers State. So every action being taken has some political reason why it's been taken. Before we go back to my guest, remind you to join us on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3. That is the handle. You can send messages to us on WhatsApp 0809 030 6416 0809 030 6416. That is the number to send your WhatsApp messages to. And yes, let's come back to my guest, Mr. Harrison, before the commercial. So we're trying to explain, we talked about the funding and how these monies are not coming, and you've said politics is largely involved. Every single thing that's been done has a political undertone to it. Even traditional rulers are now being dragged into this political idea that we have cutting across Rivers State. We'll come back to the development part of it, but because we already talked about politics, that's why we're moving in this direction now. We all are aware of what's happening in the state at the moment and the political situation. And I've gotten a series of people giving me first-hand reports about what happens in the background, how you now have to decide who you are loyal to, who you are supporting before anything can happen for you if it would happen. Is that the situation for the CDC? Is that what you see at the local level with your local government?
Is the situation actually, but like the law stipulates, the law empowers CDC and stipulates that the CDC will always work in synergy with the government of the day. It will always partner the government in developing the communities and profiling ideas and the possible ways of making sure that development programs are being implemented in each of the communities. And the CDC is bent in doing that. But it is unfortunate that in most of the political programs and ideologies, even those that are against the wishes of the community, the political leaders will always want to see how they can push in the political leaders are pushing the community leaders into ideas which has not been a better one. And because of that, if the CDC chairman is not in tune with the ideas and the political patterns of the chairman, you are not part of the system. And whatever the idea you bring, even if it's the best one to further it will not be taken. That's the challenge we are having. But be that as it may, one basic thing the community of Rivers State has been consistent about is concentrating in making sure that our local communities are peaceful. We have utilized the idea of using the community meetings, the village meetings, to be an avenue to reach for peace. And that has really gone a long way in strengthening the peace we have so far in Rivers State.
But how do you address people who think that more should be done or feel like the CDC chairmen are usually just there to, follow in the direction of their council chairman and just pursue political ambitions or serve the political interests of whoever it is that is their, in quote, paymaster?
Yeah, like I said earlier, most of our CDC chairmen has more concentration developing their communities rather than following the politicians or paymasters. So far, I cannot categorically tell you, at most one or two, let's say just one or two local governments that are looking to the affairs of the CDCs in Rivers State. Virtually all.
Let me ask you this, just for the purpose of this conversation. What is the CDC chairman's role? What is the CDC's general role in the community? If you can tell us that. What is the CDC supposed to be doing?
Yeah, the CDC is supposed to be, if I may say, a third tier of government in the local
level.
Local structure. Yeah, they are supposed to be in partnership with the government of the day. One, and making sure that government projects that are supposed to be cited in a government are being cited, are being supervised, are being monitored, are being executed according to the standard. Mm-hmm. They are also supposed to be part of initiating peace and preaching peace in the government. They're also supposed to be part of local arbitration. You know, when you say local arbitration, you are talking about the peace also, bringing peace in the communities. Mm-hmm. So these are functions of CDC, and so many. Like you can bear with me. One of the great challenges development in Nigeria is not allowing the communities to be able to be part of budgeting. You know, when local government will come, they will present. A local government chairman will go to his house with his council, write budget and present. His community development committees are not part of that budget structuring. This is where we are having it wrong. You know, a local government chairman will come to a community and say, "I want to build a market." It might not invariably not market that is the problem of the community.
Which local government are you? Your local government chairman from your local government? If I'm not mistaken, it's Obiakwo, right?
No, Omuma.
Omuma, okay. In Omuma, are you carried along? Is the CDC carried along in Omuma, whether it's budget presentation? Because one fundamental reason why we have the local government and the community development committee should be working together is first to establish development of local government areas through community efforts. That's the first thing.
Exactly.
So you have communities that will say, we don't still have roads in some parts. We don't have this, we don't have that. And people would also look at the community development committee to say, you are supposed to be sitting down with the council, looking at what the people need in our community. We interact with, see these people, the town meetings we do, this is what and what. In your local government, are you carried along in the process?
Yeah, I am not the coordinating chairman of the city in my local government. We have that Mr. Sankim Anunam, who is doing that. And so far, he has also told me that he has never been invited in any day for the contribution towards the preparation of the budget and even presentation. He has not been sought for.
He doesn't know what the budget entails.
He doesn't.
What about the other CDC?
The main thing you will even ask, have you seen the copy of the budget?
The other CDC chairman, because I know that you have the CDC forum.
Yes.
And I'm sure that's where all the CDC chairmen you meet. And at the moment, you are the acting capacity leader of that forum. Okay. If I'm right or not, am I?
Good.
So, we have your meetings. Are these things you bring up? Is this the same story from every other local government?
Every other local government. That's what I told you. Virtually, that's what I told you. Apart from, is it Kana or Thai local government that informed me that the chairman, he was part of this structuring during the presentation of budget. Apart from that, I've not of a tip bringing sound. Maybe they want to build a market, and they might see that market might be cited in
and this is where you need to communicate with the CDC.
So that's where they will make contact and tell you, okay, chairman, this is not actually what we need, or this project should be cited in this place. But one politician in that axis will think that this project should be closer to my own place, and they have to cite there. But is it contributive to the development of the community? No, it is not. Okay, we have the challenges of education in Rivers State, primary education. If you go across the state, the past government of Rotimi Amechi built this modern primary schools. Most of them are abandoned and dilapidated.
They say some of them also being vandalized by people from those communities.
That is
the CDC now. How do you protect even the government infrastructure in your area?
That's what I'm telling you.
Some of the
That's,
schools
a,
don't
that's
have.
a handicap of the CDC. You don't
How is that? How
you don't expect us to keep sleeping in the bush, because those places are not covered by thick grasses and places.
So in other words, you're saying that the CDCs were not carried along, so the schools were located in the wrong places?
Not only that, yes, that's also a point, but not that. Other point is that, see, government, let's model primary schools. What about the health centers that were also scattered across the state by the past administration? Government is continuing. Such projects that will benefit the community are being cited. Why not the next government to continue? If those projects are functioning, they will not have been looted.
As the CDCs, do you have a stock of the number of schools within your community?
Yes.
And the condition of those schools?
Yes.
So when the school is getting to a point where seats are no longer there, roofs are dilapidated, children sit there and sit on the floor, is it that the CDCs do not see it and report to the council chairman to say, see what is happening, and then something should be done about it?
Let me even shock.
Or in the hospital where we don't even have syringes, the health centers, some of them beds, some of them you can't even sit on the chair.
Let me even surprise
to be attended.
Let me even surprise you, if you hear me. Some of the primary schools in some communities today are being funded by communities, by CDC chairmen. They raise money to buy chairs, money to buy chalk or whatever for teachers. One or two teachers that are available.
So the chairmen are not aware?
They're aware. They don't even care. They are not interested about that.
So first, the money for the CDCs don't get the money that you get. The CDC don't get the money that you get from the council chairman.
I've never seen it. I've never seen that issue. CDC chairmen in different communities raise money from maybe community selling palms, or if there is any subvention from anywhere, they use it to sponsor these schools and teachers. You know, the reason why you see that, let's take for instance my own local government in Omalu. There's no single health center functioning. I mean, primary health center functioning anywhere. You cannot see it anywhere. That's how it has gone back to. That's the level of decay. So the city cannot go and employ health officials to start working. They can't do that. But because education own, it's easy. That's why you see some community chairmen sponsor some teachers, assist them in stipends and all the rest. You go to some primary schools, you see 2 teachers that are available in that school.
But how do you?
And you go there, the children are sitting on the floor. Some communities will find a way to get vendors and provide some.
Find a way is not a bad thing. But is it that the community, the youths, cannot go to the council chairman and hold them responsible, or the councillors, and say, see what is happening, see what it is, or perhaps even bring the matter to the state level? Is it that they can't do that, or
you have to understand that the political system in Nigeria and state has gone so bad that even a councillor doesn't know what is happening in the system. A councillor stays to wait at the end of the month so that he can receive his own stipend and go and take care of his own family. So who are you complaining to? The local government chairman you see today comes to that council maybe 2-3 times in a month. Are you going to their houses to go and check on them, or go and complain? Even when they come, they are coming there to go for one function or the other, and they will leave. What see them again? The only project you see them do is that one that they will use to sing praises. It might not be the interest of the community, but for their own praises, they will just go and build it, in a haphazard way. No monitoring, no supervision. Who are you supervising? So the political system in Rivers State in particular has gone so bad that this system, this structure, cannot stand again. Everything has been debated. That is how it is. And we pray that this current administration will find a way to institute these foundations.
How do you respond to people who say the CDC's chairmen and those that work with them have all become in political thoughts? Most of them are now by politicians, are used for election purposes. They serve certain political interests, etc., etc. And even some of them belong to gangs, and that is also contributing to the insecurity in those communities where there are insecurities, and in some cases the sad the demise of some of those young men is because of all of these I've just said. How would you do that? Is it true or not? Does it happen or not?
It happens, but I want to buttress that the community is still a viable institution, that there are some things that are abhorred by the law of the land.
But does this happen?
From the
political perspective, have you heard of any?
I have not taken record of any.
So no CDC you've known or seen
a member of a gang,
or that having the political one politician.
Yes, it is possible. It is possible. We have over 2,000 communities in River State. It is possible. And I cannot stand here to tell you the actions and inactions of each of them as it stands now. But I am telling you that it is possible. It is possible. I say possibility in it. But the very important thing you know is that communities are still sacred. When communities found out that the leader or the chairman of CDC is getting involved in court activities, there are ways the community uses to redress that. And those ways are still standing. So in such ways, communities will find a way to suspend and remove.
So when that individual is loyal to the same politician or the council chairman for some certain interest at some levels or power that be, does those local ways, are you still able to remove that individual?
It does. It does. I tell you that when it comes to a point that the interest of that CDC chairman is actually standing against the progress of the community, everybody needs peace in their own village, irrespective of interest. We will see that even that politician that is making use of that CDC chairman, at the end of what he wants to achieve, he will join the community.
So why
he
not apply same vigor in tackling their local government when they are not there to do what they ought to do? The same way you're saying that for CDC chairman, when they would. Why not do the same? Because clearly from what you've said, it simply means that the local government chairmen across most of the local government in River State are not up to even 40% doing what they ought to do.
40% is a big mark.
Okay, there are most of them where the salaries are being owed, and a lot of other things are not even working according to the provisions of what laws are. So why not apply the same vigor? Why not see the people, the CDC, the youth, also say we don't want this? If not the fact that some of them might be.
It is easy to approach the CDC chairman. It's easy to utilize the laws of the land against the CDC chairman, but it's not easy for you to do that to the local government chairman, because the local government chairman in quote has the powers above. You understand? And what you can do is to protest. You do the protest, you do complaints, but powers that has anointed them, they work with them. So like I said earlier, that is the challenge of development. Politics has reached a point that has undermined possibilities of development. And if the CDC is not being allowed to participate in formulation of government policies and ideas, then how will actual development come to the communities? If you go to the hinterlands, routes that lead to the farming and all the rest have been abandoned, and no one don't think about them, because those routes are not. In
your word, it doesn't bring political
relevance to them. That is it. It doesn't bring political relevance to them. They only go to what brings political relevance to them.
Okay, let's open the phone lines and hear from the listener. 0817 923 0007. 0817 923 0002. You've heard my guest. Do you still think that CDC chairmen, you can't blame them for not doing too much? Spoken from the political perspective, security-wise, following the sad incidents that we've had in recent times, as well as economical and infrastructural development in the rural areas. If you've been following, let's hear what you think. Eze Ken in Ubimini is on the line. Straight to the point of your question. Good morning, Eze Ken.
Good morning, Ife Andrew, and your guests there in the studio.
Okay.
My first question goes like this. How does the CDC chairman emerges in a community? And how does the chairman operate? That is a question. Now, for one of the scenarios that is playing in the community here in Ubimini. In the recent time, we just woke up in a day and hear about someone being a chairman of a CDC. In the recent time, without consulting the traditional rulers, the chiefs, the foreholders, even the youth, at least, to know who will be or who is the chairman of this community. So how I want people to educate me on how do a community have a CDC chairman. Because
then, thank you. Go to Echi now.
It's why. Thank you very much.
All right. Caption is Echi. Caption, good morning.
I think Echi.
Yes, go ahead.
I think thank God for sometimes we celebrate what is happening in River State. Despite that it's taking development backward. But I tell you, if it were when status quo was like what it is, they said guests can never even speak the way he's speaking. Because they find it difficult to even talk where politics are taking over all the CDC functions in the community. I tell you, your guest mindset is what represents the CDC that we see in the communities. They only talk about politics. They don't even care. In fact, the way they even politics, if you don't belong, nobody will even remember you being chairman. But I tell you, the mindset of your guests, the one I have in my community, I believe I don't come from here. I tell you, this CDC chairman that I've seen that have been doing, being in everything that has to do with development of his community. He has been communicating with all facets of parties and every individual community. And I believe that's how CDC should work. But because of the politics that we have, the kind of politics in this state, made them to be so handicapped. Talk to local government, he don't talk to government, he don't that is the situation we find away. According to your guys, this present governor will change that narrative. I think CDC chairman will begin to take that responsibility.
All right, JJ in Port Harcourt town. Good morning, JJ. Go on.
Yeah. I agree with you this morning.
Yes, go ahead, JJ.
Your guest. For me, the CDC chairman, in so many communities as CUC chairman, community underdevelopment committee. For me, I think moving up to the chairman, I don't see it as right thing. You have a structure where you have the council representing all the communities. Let's take a couple of these river states. How many times do you invite your councillors to say, look, at things and things we want, so that when they meet in whatever they meet, it now takes the matter and put it as part of the budget and all those put together. Looking for chairman to sit with you and now begin to ask what does the community need, I don't think that will even work in the first instance. But I must also tell you that there are communities and companies who operate in those areas are paid directly to the CDC and the community head. And to such communities, my brother, you will even cry. That is why I call them CUC. What happened in that instance? The money comes to you directly, like the what they call this CIC. At the end of the day, the communities are backward.
Let's go to Bugum. Isaiah, good morning.
Yes, Andrew. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, it is because of the problem we are having with the government that they have left the part of truth and they are doing they have themselves engaged in other activities that lead to their death. In the case where benefits comes to communities, sometimes from oil companies, and you see them, they will sideline the people who are supposed to do right truly benefit or get it with their if you know for this thing,
Isaiah, unfortunately,
spring in a way that will lead to this.
Isaiah, you're not very clear. Even though, sorry, we have to move on. You're not very clear, but we get what you're saying about the resources that come from communities that the companies that this display hosts to. and that's where CDC chairmen are very vocal. We'll get a response to all of those. Let's hear from Robin quickly, and then perhaps one more call before we go for a commercial. Robin, good morning.
Yes, Andrew. Yes, thank you. I'm listening to our guest in the studio.
Straight to the point.
Most of the things, yes, as highlighted are correct, but to a large extent, my views are not correct. Why? Most of these things in this are below the political party. The community are other people who come to other political parties. And again, community development committee is about a community. It's not local government, it's about it. What efforts are they doing? Most of this community, you only see chairman. You don't know who is secretary. You don't know who is this. You don't know who is that. They are not working in community to ensure that their community is being harnessed. They are all looking at the local chairman, looking at the state government. How do you develop your community when you look so far instead of looking towards? Good morning.
Good morning. Nike Woji, quickly, let's hear from you. Yes.
I'm telling the public to enjoy your speaker this morning about CDC and the community. I want you to ask that. What is the mood of electing a community CDC chairman? Like some community, one team will appoint them for the interest. Some they will do election. Some companies in the place, community, the CDC will be settling on it over that now. It's central for the system to bring up a CDC chairman so that they can order. Because the way some of them come on board, in where we are, one chief who is not recognized will come up and appoint CDC and you see every other multiple companies and people like that.
All right, thank you. Let's take a commercial. We'll get response.
Nigeria Info. We'll be back.
Guy, where on this credit and data buy for this less weather?
Omo, that's not
studio. He's definitely going to be part of this conversation. But let's go to my guest, Mr. Harrison. How are CDC chairmen, how did they get into office? How are they appointed?
There is a state bylaw that stipulates process of electing a CDC chairman.
Okay.
Yeah. The process is that the community, single person in that community, selects the committee. CDC is a committee, and it must comprise men and women. And there should be a monitoring from the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Community Affairs, especially from the Director of Community Development. So send someone to come and supervise the election. And the
chairman itself for the committee, how is the chairman picked?
So yes, that is a special interest for the community. That's the basic special interest for the community.
So the community also decides who will be chairman.
Who will be the chairman?
It's supposed to be the community involved.
The community selects who will be chairman and members. So at times it used to be election, and at most times it used to be by nomination. To the families. If there are 10 families in that community, and last time if someone from this community were chairman, they can decide that it comes from the other family. The chairman comes from the other family, and it's selected. So it is a peaceful something. And there must be monitoring. So the monitoring is important. The Minister of Chieftaincy
monitor.
Just has to.
All right, Judo, you've heard.
All right, they have to, and that's how we have to do things here in Port Harcourt. There should be more about tolerance and decency. All this shouting, shooting, it's not what Port Harcourt really needs.
But shooting would not come up in Hello Port Harcourt.
No. Except we're shooting good vibes and music. So ready for conversation.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Harrison, for your time. Jude is next with Hello Port Harcourt. My name is Ifeanyi Andrew. Apologies for the messages you take, please. But then it's a conversation. You can go listen again on Facebook at Nigeria in 92.3 BH. Good morning.